Hi, I'm Nicole Roberts Jones, and welcome to The Fierce Files. Now, what I know for sure is that one of life's greatest gifts will meet you when you go after your more. And so here is why I share with you thought-provoking insight and behind-the-curtain conversations with women who have reached the pinnacle of success because they went after their more. Now, I really want you to get this. One idea from these episodes can make a remarkable difference, not just in your career, but in your life. And I want to make sure you join the conversation in our Facebook group. So go to findyourfiercemovement.com. Now grab your pen and get ready for today's session of The Fierce Files. Hi, Nicole Roberts Jones here, and welcome to this special 3-part series on why you must go after your more. Now, this is part 1. Your job is not big enough for your gift. And do you know why your job is not big enough? Now, sure, it may have been when you first started out, but now you have the career you always wanted. Matter of fact, you have the corner office, the title, the expense account. You're already successful, and yet something is missing, and you secretly yearn for more. But how can you dare want it when, according to the definition of success, girl, you are it. And because you already got it all, you feel guilty for wanting more. Does that sound familiar or anything close to it? Well, let me tell you that you're not alone. Matter of fact, I created the Fierce Files just for you. And if you listened to our welcome episode, you heard me share my story of the moment in time in my career where I realized that the job I had was not big enough for my gift. So you have to understand that you may start in a career and be excited and great at it. But if you outgrow it, you're probably feeling one or all 3 of these things. 1, you dream or daydream about things you could be creating or implementing, but your job will not allow you to do them. Or projects and activities that used to excite you now bore you. You've done the same things so many times that they're no longer challenging you. Or you know you can contribute more than your current job allows you or the company will ever allow you to do. Well, if you feel any of those things or anything close to it, what that means is time for your expansion. And I have to tell you that the reason you have that rumble in your belly leading you to do more or be more is because despite the fact that you're already successful, your job is not big enough for your gift. There is more for you to do. And there is more for you to become, because it's not about doing, it's about being. Now, I know some of you may be wondering what I mean by more. Now, I shared this with you in our welcome episode, but in case you missed it, let me try to explain it to you plain and simple. The more that I'm referring to isn't defined by how much money you make or how many people know your name or consider you successful. See, the more I'm referring to is that gnawing feeling you have inside of you that is calling you to a life of bigger than where you are right now. It's calling you to grow your impact and influence. It's a desire you have to live a life that's more purposeful. And most importantly, it's a desire you have to live a life that is fulfilling in a way that serves others just as much as it serves you. See, what I've learned in the 20 plus years that I've been working with women to move into their more is that there are so many women out there that crave a life of significance. But the sad fact is that most believe that going after that rumble in their belly is only for a select few. So they spend their lives in a career that is mediocre, enough at its best. Focus on their paycheck instead of actually going after, like it says in Ephesians 3:20, they're abundantly above all. So I'm here with you as your sister friend to call you out and to tell you to stop settling for what you already have. See, I'm here to foster the space for you to go after that big, bold dream you have. See, I think the perfect example of going after a big, bold dream is Miss Oprah. Now, I really want you to think about this. Oprah was already successful. She had a successful talk show when her more started rumbling in her belly. That more was for Oprah to begin her own TV network. See, she had reached a level of success that only 1% of the population ever reached. And yet there was still even more for her. And at a time when Oprah's talk show was still doing well in the ratings, she decided to end it all. Who does that? I'll tell you who. A woman who is clear that her job is not big enough for her gift. A woman who knows she can do more and be more. So what did Oprah do? What did Oprah do when she had that rumble in her belly? She ended her talk show and went after her more and started her own network. And I really want you to think about it. What is your more? What is the secret desire you have that you haven't told anybody about because you've been thinking to yourself, how dare I want it? Maybe your more is to begin a business so that you can have the freedom and flexibility to do what you love while you travel the world. Maybe your more is to write a book. Maybe your more is to travel the world as a speaker. I could go on. The possibilities are endless. But the point is that dream, that desire in your heart is there because God is calling you out. He has more for you to do. And you're playing small. You sitting in good enough doesn't help anybody, including you. So I want you to think about it. Your gift, your fears, and that next level that's rumbling in your spirit. It is exactly what makes the difference between a little girl who loves to play tennis and a 23-time Wimbledon winner. Hello, Serena Williams. It makes a difference between a woman who went from being fired from her first on-air reporter job because her boss didn't think she was ready for TV to one day becoming Oprah. It makes a difference between a little black girl from the south side of Chicago who went on to become First Lady of the United States. Michelle Obama. It makes a difference between a little 9-year-old girl practicing every single day in her backyard after school for years, even practicing all summer long, who later morphed into Sasha Fierce. So yes, I'm talking about the one and only Beyonce. See, each of them were ordinary. There were ordinary women who went the extra mile it took to reach their more and turned it into becoming extraordinary. And dare I say that extra with your ordinary, that extraordinary is calling for you. So let me give you the 4 steps that will help you move into your extraordinary, to move into your more. Number 1, be willing to do it afraid. See, what I hear from most women who want to move into their next level is that they are afraid. They're afraid that they won't reach the same success that they've already obtained as they transition into this new way of exercising their gift. Well, to that I say, anything you do that is great will be scary. Ask Ava DuVernay, a little black girl from Compton, California, who first accomplished one insurmountable goal of becoming a publicist in Hollywood, to then leave that and go after her more and her real passion to become a Hollywood director. Let me tell you something. When you are already successful, oftentimes it is that success that keeps you in good enough. And I have to tell you that because your more is new territory for you, it's going to be scary. So understand that feeling afraid is a normal part of the process. Just don't let that fear paralyze you from moving toward your goals. So your comfort zone can keep you in very predictable spaces. So you've got to let go of your expectation of having to know and understand it and accept that you just may need to, and here's number 2, find help. See, when you're starting out on a path you have never been on, there are some things that you just aren't going to know how to do, no matter how successful you already are. So stop trying to figure everything out and find someone to help you move your vision forward. Yes, you have the intellectual property to do this new thing. And by the way, when I say intellectual property, I mean the know-how or expertise. You've got that. But do you have the strategy mapped out that you need in order to do this new thing you've never done effectively? See, one of my favorite quotes by A.R. Bernard, Bishop A.R. Bernard, is, "The tools you used on this level are not sufficient for your next." So investing in a culture or program or whatever it is that is designed to move you into your more will give you the strategies you need to move into that next level. Keep in mind, this new place that you're coming into is bigger than where you've been, so you must acquire new tools to accomplish it. This is where I see so many successful women fail. You think because you already are successful, you should be able to do the same thing that's gotten you to this current level or position to move into your more. And let me tell you, that's not true. So if you want something different, you will need to do something different. And again, I say to you, the tools you use on this level are not sufficient for your next. So you must find someone that's 10 steps ahead of you, someone who has ventured into this new space, that's been there, done that, and is already successful, to help you create the steps you need to go after it. And here is what they'll help you do, which is number 3, create a winning strategy. See, oftentimes overwhelm and or fear sets in because you're working without a real plan. See, many people think that launching something new or beginning a successful business starts with a business plan. And while a business plan is part of it, see, I believe strategy is even more important. See, strategy is a long-term plan of action designed to achieve a particular goal or a set of objectives. See, strategy states how business should be conducted, and without it, you have no plan of action. And without no plan of action, how are you going to lead to a predictable result? See, do you think Oprah left her TV show to start a network without a plan? You better think again. So yes, having an expert that understands this new lane you're walking into and someone who can help you create a winning strategy is a must. And then number 4, you must choose to be committed to it. See, when you start something new, you have to really assess if you're interested or committed. See, if you're interested, if you're only interested in following that rumble in your belly, you will only do what is convenient. If you're interested, excuses and all kind of stories will come up as to why you can't make this dream happen. You'll say things like, I don't have enough money, or my relationship is stopping me, or you'll be like some people who say, I need to lose weight first, or I need to go back to school. So you'll find all kind of reasons why you cannot set your wheels in motion toward your more. However, if you're committed, you will do whatever it takes. You will do it all. You're going to do whatever it takes to become the person you need to become in order to obtain that next level of success that's waiting for you. Matter of fact, it's waiting for you to let go of all the excuses, the stories, all the reasons why you can't, and find every reason that you can and that you should. You let go of all of that and move into the highest and best version of who you were created to be. See, it was commitment that allowed Oprah to go after starting her own network. Keep in mind, she had a successful TV show, not a network, something she had never done before, which required a whole lot of more, right, to move forward. And then in January 2011, when she launched the OWN network in 80 million homes, see, Oprah promised to deliver a cable powerhouse, and $250 million was poured into her dream. However, after year 1, do you remember this? The ratings were even below the failing cable networks. What did Oprah do? Because she was committed, she needed help. She knew she needed help. So she brought in seasoned hands from the cable world. In an article I read by Peter Hamilton, a publisher of the newsletter documentarytelevision.com, and he's consulted several cable networks. Here's what he said. He said Oprah and the original OWN team had to let go of a lot of their presumptions about programming a cable network. Again, remember what I said? The tools you use on this level are not sufficient for the next. See, Oprah had to realize that she needed tools to build a network, and the tools she built a successful TV show were not sufficient to build a successful cable network. Now, I really want you to get this. It was her commitment to make her more successful that had Oprah reach out for help. Oh, she could have quit. She could have quit it all. She already put so much money in it. But because of her commitment, she reached out and got the help she needed, and then got the winning strategy. And look at her network now. See, it was commitment that allowed her to not just want more, but to make it real. And this is what it will take. It will take you moving beyond just being interested in it and becoming committed to it in order to move your more past dreaming about it or praying about it and talking to people about it to actually being about it. See, I want you to really think about this. What good is it to have a desire for more? What good is it to have the flame if it never gets ignited? Well, this episode is here to fan the flame of more that's lit inside of you. And why is this all so important? When I'm doing the research for this episode, I stumbled on a survey conducted by the Society for Human Resource Management. And in that survey, it found that over half of employees say that they're not satisfied with their jobs. Even further, an article in the New York Times called Why You Hate Work focused on a survey from the Energy Project, an engagement and performance firm that focuses on workplace fulfillment, which found people lack a level of meaning and significance at work. And to make a long story short, the research found that over 50% of people are not fulfilled at work. Imagine what that means. Doing work that you're good at, but you hate it. Matter of fact, you hate it so much you don't even want to get up and go to work in the morning. Even when you get to work, that same disdain for your work affects your attitude and how you interact with other people in your workplace. And if you work 5 out of 7 days a week, basically you live 80% of your life unhappy, in dread and regret. Now, is that any way to live? And how do I know this? Of course, I can give you countless examples of clients I have worked with over the last 20 plus years to align meaning and fulfillment with their paycheck. But actually, my first client was me. And I told you the whole story in our welcome episode, but I came to the realization that I lacked fulfillment and I wanted more back in 1993 at a time in my life that from what everyone else could see, I was very successful. Matter of fact, I had successfully matriculated into the entertainment industry and landed the job I had always dreamed of since I was a little girl. Plus, I was going to the parties. I was bumping elbows with the stars. I had the dream life, but I felt like something was missing. Now, again, I'm always going to say, don't get me wrong, Hollywood is great. But I realized that my gift was bigger than that job I was in at that time. See, realizing this was confusing. I started thinking, what should I do? Stay in a job that was not giving me the meaning I desired and continue on a career others deemed successful? Or should I go after the rumble in my belly, the fulfillment of the desire in my heart? See, that first epiphany moment for me in 1993, when I said yes to my more and began to pursue it and make it real, I realized that the highest and next level use of my gifts made me feel alive and fulfilled. And actually, I couldn't believe that I could actually get a paycheck for doing what I love. I can tell you from my own firsthand experience that I get paid every day to do what sets my soul on fire. And that's why I'm committed to helping you and every woman I get to coach and teach to live into your more. And that is why I'm holding the space for you to go after it. For me, I chose commitment. What will you choose? I chose to go after the rumble in my belly. I'm inviting you into an introspective look into other women that said yes to their more during my interviews here in the Fierce Files. But the ultimate question is, why should you say yes to it? Why should you be committed to it? Well, I want to invite you to listen in on our next episode. Episode 3, which is part 2 of this series of why you must say yes to your more. Thank you for joining us for this episode of The Fierce Files. Now, I want you to walk away from these episodes with value, so grab your pen and answer either one or all 3 of these questions. Number 1, what was your greatest takeaway? Number 2, what will you do differently as a result of what you heard? So you may have heard something you've already heard before, or you may have learned something new. Either way, don't take the insight that was shared with you for granted. So commit to doing one thing different because of what you heard. Number 3, what was confirmation for you? What did you hear that confirmed you're on the right path? See, I want you to take a moment and celebrate you. Too often in our journey, we focus on what we're not doing and we forget to celebrate what we are doing. So what was something that showed you that you're headed in the right direction? Now, I want you to share your answers. Share your answer to either number 1, what was your greatest takeaway? Number 2, what would you do different? Or number 3, what was confirmation for you? And share it in our Facebook community. So go to findyourfiercemovement.com and use the hashtag FierceFiles. Now, each experience we encourage, support, and celebrate as a community. It allows us to expand in possibility and wisdom, in encouragement and love. Now, we've invited you into our community to deepen our journey with being the answer someone needs and in being committed to your next level. So until the next time, be extraordinary, be unapologetic, be bodaciously you, go and be fierce.